First commercial motion exhibition took place in New York in 1894 using Thomas Edison's kinescope. Soon the public would watch movies at Nickelodeons taking place at vaudeville houses in working-class neighborhoods. At the height of popularity of Nickelodeons, from 1905 to 1915, there were thousands of Nickelodeons in cities across America. In the 1920s, movie palaces replaced Nickelodeons. They were often located in hearts of major cities, and their decor was wildly exotic. Some of these movie palaces can still be found in cities across America. The most famous movie palace is probably Mann's Chinese Theater in Los Angeles. During the golden age of Hollywood, from the 1920s to the 1940s, studios were producing a large number of movies. During this time, motion picture companies operated under the studio system, meaning that the major studios had their own talent as well as theaters. In the 1940s, the studio system came to an end due to two forces. One was a federal antitrust action that separated the production of films from their exhibition, and two, the birth of television. TV turned out to benefit the movie industry as the studios aimed to produce entertainment that couldn't be offered by television, resulting in a spectacular larger-than-life production. Public opinion about the quality of television content soon declined, and by contrast, cinema status began to be regarded more and more as a serious art form worthy of respect. In the 1950s and early 1960s, drive-in movie theaters became popular as Americans moved to the suburbs and most families owned cars by this time. Though there has been a recent revival, most drive-ins are now defunct. We are now in the era of multiplex cinema, theaters with two or more screens showing more than one film. At first modestly consisting of two screens, multiplex builders have recently become more ambitious, with theaters boasting up to as many as 30 or more screens.
3D is sometimes portrayed like a new development, but it's actually been coming in and out in waves since 1920. In 1950, 3D was promoted as an experience that viewers couldn't get at home. The reason why 3D fades in and out of popularity is because it's a novelty fad, which wears out quickly, as well as due to the added costs of going to see a 3D movie. Currently, the number of 3D screens is actually increasing, however. IMAX is also an important and rapidly growing format for modern-day exhibition. It was initially used for screening 45-minute documentaries, but is now the most popular system for special venue film presentations. The Digital Cinema Package, or DCP, is the collection of digital files used to store and to convey digital cinema audio, image, and data streams. It uses a specialty hard disk to store the files, which was originally designed for military use because of its reliability. The encryption of the disks helps to protect against piracy, and the standardization means that all DCP cinemas now offer a quality product that's considered to be superior to 35 millimeters. For theaters, digital projectors can cost up to $100,000 a piece, and it's therefore predicted that 20% of North American theaters will disappear because they can't afford digital projections.
In nearest future, theaters will gradually move away from looking at a rectangle of light in a dark room and evolve into large-scale public attractions, becoming urban theme parks, where cinema is only part of the experience. There will be a merging of gaming and movies. First, through technologies emerging today, flexible screens, motion controls, haptic or tactile technology, smart glasses, and virtual reality. For instance, company named Oculus VR has created an application called Oculus Cinema that allows users wearing the headset to experience sitting in a virtual movie theater as they watch an existing movie play on a screen in front of them. Nate Mitchell, one of the founders of the company, believes VR can bridge the gap between games and films. Games have been incredibly interactive but lacking in terms of story. Films can be powerful in terms of stories. We're going to see all sorts of combinations of the two. We're just trying to get a handle on what makes sense, what's interesting, and what's fun. Steven Zaitchik, who is writer, emphasizes, donning a VR-enabled device to watch a movie, one is immediately struck not just by the vividness of the colors and the depth of the images, but by something more significant. A crane of the neck upward reveals not a ceiling of a movie theater, but the sky of the scene in the movie. A quick swivel of the head backwards reveals not the boisterous teenagers in the row behind, but more of the same cinematic universe. The effect is simple, but devastatingly powerful. There is no escaping the world of a VR film.
Regarding the screenings, they will be a 360-degree dome-shaped screen which shows a 3D movie and projects audience members into the action. VFX supervisor Joel Hanks says you'd have a wristband that identifies who you are, and if you elect to, your body and face can be scanned, allowing the attractions to include you in them and allow you to interact with them. Faith Popcorn futurist and CEO Brain Reserve goes along with the statement and gives his opinion regarding future ways of exhibiting. Films won't be events you go and see in the theaters for 2 hours. They'll be gamified and will unfold in real time all around you. You pay for a time slot, tune into your technology, and literally become one with the action. Endings and events will be changed as you go. Smell, taste, sensations will all be experienced live. Cast will be compromised of your own avatars. You will be the star. In the conclusion, Cookson recently let go by Sony after serving as president of Sony Pictures Technology says, our job on technology side is to make the technology disappear, to make applications and interface that are so powerful and intuitive that our storytellers can focus only on telling their stories. He feels that in 2064, one won't even ask the question. It will be whatever it takes to convey the feeling.